In the early 1970s, the Korean community took active steps to establish themselves in the Chicagoland area. Korean restaurants and family-owned stores opened their doors along Clark Street. Arirang became the first Korean grocery in the area. And in 1971, the Chicago Korea Times Bureau printed its first paper. And the following year, a group of concerned community members established the Korean American Community Services to serve the needs of the newly arriving Korean immigrants. But even with the growth in numbers, the public image of Koreans was still very much unknown and misunderstood. These trailblazers faced much discrimination because of their race and gender. They tirelessly worked to redefine themselves and, most importantly, their community.
With her trademark big glasses and bow blouses, Non was a quiet leader who led by humility. She was not a woman who sought the limelight, but quietly and humbly lived her faith. She was very much a behind-the-scenes supporter of all her favorite causes. In order to support these causes, Non was known to be extremely frugal. She conserved and recycled before it was in vogue. She was known to save everything. When a church member moved, for example, she assisted in the move and brought home their discarded items. Then she would give those items to a new immigrant family who very much needed them as they settled in Chicago. When she did feel the need to splurge, Non would feast at the local old country buffet. Non had a famous sister, Dr. Ko Hwang-kyung, who was the first woman to receive a PhD in sociology in America. She also founded the Seoul Women's University in 1960. Non supported her sister's school, and in 1978, she started with an $8,000 donation and continued to donate over $2.2 million to the school throughout her life. She also created the Co-Sisters Scholarship Fund, which is now known as the Parom Scholarship Fund. Since its inception, over 580 students have benefited from this scholarship. A scholar at heart, Non stressed the importance of continuously learning the English language in order to successfully assimilate into the country. In a letter that she wrote to her sister in Korean, she ended with, "Until we see each other again, with love, Non. P.S. I am praying ardently every day for your hearing and memories to return." Well versed with American life and practices, Non also applied for and received the 501c3 non-for-profit status for KWAC, the Korean American Women's Association of Chicago, which now celebrates its 30th anniversary.
She was the founding member of the Korean Women's Association of Chicago, and also she served as a chairperson of the both Korean Women's Association, and also she helped YWCA, Global Children Foundation, any place when she asked her to serve, she did it.
Non has always been remembered for putting others before herself. On her 70th birthday, for example, her KWAC peers threw a surprise birthday party for her. She was in tears because this was the first birthday party since she had left Korea as a young woman in 1947. No one had ever thought to remember or celebrate her birthday before. During the late 60s, Tonghae worked for various public entities as a bilingual consultant, focusing on children's psychology, and was an assistant professor of psychology at the University of Illinois.
This is an excerpt from the letter written by Tonghae's husband, the late Dr. Sundar Ko, at Christmas 1979. Tonghae has become more deeply involved with the Asian community activities. In addition to her job as a bilingual psychologist at the Chicago Board of Education, she became the chairperson of the Board of Directors of the Asian Human Services of Chicago.
In 1991, famous rap artist Ice Cube released Black Korea, a song that threatened Korean grocery stores with violence.
"Look, you little Chinese motherfucker. I ain't trying to steal none of your shit. Leave me alone." motherfuck you. Yo, check it out. So don't follow me up and down your market, or your little chop suey ass will be a target of a nationwide boycott. Juice with the people, that's what the boys got. So pay respect to the Black Fist, or we'll burn down your store right down to a crisp. And then we'll see ya, 'cause you can't turn the ghetto into Black Korea.
In protest, Tonghae condemned the rapper's words and demanded that the song stop receiving airtime, as she felt that the words put down Korean American children's images of themselves.
These sharp words and inventive narratives are overwhelmed by the hate that fuels them. Our particular concern is that most of Ice Cube's following is consisted of teenagers who are very impressionable by nature. His raps become instant authority with young followers who idolize him as their hero. We have already experienced many serious conflicts between Korean merchants and Black communities in large urban cities, including Chicago. It is not time to promote hatred between the races, but nurture harmony and cooperation.
Although the radio station stopped playing the song and Ice Cube later apologized, the lyrics foreshadowed the devastating LA riots of April 29, 1992. It is estimated that over 2,300 Korean businesses were either damaged or destroyed, and over $1 billion in property damages were sustained. Tonghae lived a life dedicated to academia and the empowerment of other Korean American women. She stressed that Korean women needed to work with people of other cultures in order to share their own culture with America.
우리 고 박사님은 상당히 멋쟁이세요. Always well dressed 하시고 항상 neat appearance. 그리고 머리는 항상 이렇게 하셔서 미장원은 안 가셔서도 고동희 박사님 하면 기억나는 머리 스타일이 항상 있으십니다.
She also started Women's Corner, which was a 30-minute television show that aired weekly on a local cable station. The show revolved around the Korean American community with the focus of educating the broader public. It ran for 13 years. Tonghae also played an important role in establishing the Ewha Women's University Alumni Association of North America, as well as the Songa Literature Center in 1992, a nonprofit organization that she dedicated to her father's poetry. Through the Songa Literature Center, Tonghae translated her father's poems into English, held symposiums, and eventually published a book in his name. Her hope was to transmit Korean culture to the next generation and share it with America.